In this video, we're going to talk about mainstream media. Well, not really. We're going to talk about the term mainstream media because it's a term that's thrown around a lot in politics and in the discourse around media consumption. What exactly do people mean when they say the mainstream media? Are they referring to a specific type of outlet or popularity? Are they suggesting that the mainstream media outlets are popular ones and that the fringe ones are somehow more desirable or more reliable? Or is it the type of content that they're referring to? We hear it a lot and just want to unpack what exactly people are referring to when they talk about mainstream media. For example, are they talking about the type of outlet? It's possible that when people say mainstream media, what they mean is legacy media companies. So companies that have existed for a long time and have a record of producing news. So the print dailies, such as the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. They've been around a long time, so maybe because they're the sort of legacy companies, maybe that's what people mean. They could be the broadcast networks or cable news companies. And the idea being to draw contrast between newer digital media outlets. So that's maybe what people are talking about. Now, in reality, these sort of mainstream media outlets, the legacy media companies, are large multinational conglomerates that probably own some smaller digital media entities as well, in addition to being active in many other industries. But that's one perspective. People also could be referring to the popularity. Again, trying to draw contrast and position the mainstream as something that everybody, the sheep, the brainwashed masses, consumes, whereas the more specialized informed viewers look for something different. That could be what they're talking about. But there's some nuance around the data, because that's an empirical question. We could try and figure out what the most popular outlets are. In terms of the evening news, people still do watch their network news. You can see ABC, NBC, CBS News are pretty popular. They will get anywhere up to an average of 9 million viewers a night. So that's a lot. That's a fair amount of viewership. When we look at the sort of averages and we include Fox News and the cable news companies, we could see a little bit of a different story. Fox News is probably the most popular when you look at their average audience on a given night. When we include all of the cable shows, Fox News is by far the most popular, most watched network. You can see that this from Nielsen ratings. These are the 8 of the top 10 shows come from Fox News. So most watched, well, maybe Fox News is the mainstream media. What about the largest reach? The outlets that can reach the most people? Well, again, we've got the Joe Rogan Experience is by definition the most popular, most widely consumed entity with the largest reach. And so maybe Joe Rogan, you've got Tucker Carlson, which is also a very popular politically themed show. Those are incredibly popular outlets too. So when we hear the term mainstream media, like what exactly is it? Is it ABC News and the New York Times? Is that the mainstream media? Or is it Fox News? Because Fox News is the one that the most people watch on a given night. Or is it Joe Rogan with the largest reach, the ability to reach tens of millions of people with each episode? But it's more complicated than that. When people say mainstream media, what they really mean is our competitors. So when you'll hear digital media outlets, podcasters or influencers use the term, basically they're saying, those are the competitors, don't trust them, trust me instead. They're using it as sort of a differentiation strategy. When people use it, when people say mainstream media, typically what they mean is outlets I disagree with. And that's a phenomenon that's known as reflexive valuation. Sort of rooted in your own partisanship or your own affective relationship to a political party. And if you don't like the stories that are coming from, let's say, the New York Times or the ABC, then you can reflexively disagree with them. You just reflexively say, I don't value that because it is counter-attitudinal to my political perspective. And so that's typically what mainstream media means. It doesn't have anything to do with reach or content. It typically means people giving me stories I don't like.